systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation YouTube station? We're here. Ham the man. This dude ships 10K left and right in the MLB streets and then decides, hey, work's going to get in the way. But glad he's back. He had a rough go at it in the old at the old John. He had to drop off a load. But what's going on, brother? Happy Friday, man.
Yeah, no, happy Friday. But we got some good things in the chat. I owe the people something, Nate. So let's do this. Why was Ham late? We'll give him a free ticket. I'm feeling generous today. We'll go 121 single entry ticket tonight. Hey, Ham's got to pay up, man. You're 10 minutes late. We got an early one in the clubhouse. That's a good one. I'm gonna let you pick it. And someone said, I forget. But we're gonna give away a 121 ticket. But the one caveat to that is we got to get 100 likes. So we got to get 100 likes. We'll give away a 121 ticket. I'll shoot you the money. We'll go from there. Yep.
All righty. Well, look at this guy. I mean, he just comes in with a bang. Happy Friday. I mean, this dude, man, Ham's feeling good. He's traveling. He's all over the board. He's got a virtual background. He's got Mr. Polo on. And now he's giving a $121 ticket. Not even for a Verdugo home run. I mean, he's just giving it up for free out there for the people.
Jock Jams is back too. So, Jock Jams hits a homer. It's another one next Friday. So,
oh, wow. Listen, I mean, holy Toledo. We're starting the show off with a bang. We got 11 games on the docket. We got Coors Field. We got the Pirates with a 6.5 implied run total. Don't think they've seen that kind of run total in about 4 games combined. So, should be a fun slate here. We got a bunch of people in the chat here. Sean Sullivan, our guy Michael, Justin L, Lone Wolf, Gangrene, Sean, AZ Bob. I mean, all the people are ready for the winners here tonight. Ham, got the dry run up before I share my screen and kind of talk through it here. I know you came in late, but any broad slate overviews for the people before we do kind of pull up SaberSim, our partner, and walk through pitching and then go game by game for hitting.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be in the same boat as me. But when I look at these starting pitching, I don't see anything that really stands out. I mean, you got Hunter Brown at the top, who's been not very good over the last month plus. Going into enemy territory where we don't like picking on Fenway. I mean, you got Rodon up there at the top. It gets Miami, but Miami's been hitting lefties pretty good. So to me, it's pretty much clear cut. From the pitching standpoint, up in the top tier. I'm going to focus on offenses tonight. You mentioned the Pirates. We normally don't play the Rockies. Rockies been playing very well against lefties as well over the last 30. So to me, it's all about the bats. We got some guy named Anthony Del Scafani, who I didn't even know was still pitching the majors, but he's been pitching better as of late. So, yeah, looking forward to breaking it all down. To me, it's going to be the night about the sticks. And then there's some pitching that I really like tonight, kind of in that mid-tier.
Yeah, I agree. For me, I do think the pitching is pretty damn loaded here overall. I did the slate plan, and I listed, I think, 9 guys in the slate plan or something like that. There's a lot of guys in the top tier. For me, it's definitely kind of, and for everybody else, it's kind of Logan Gilbert, Robbie Ray, Gavin Williams, Pavetta. Those are kind of the 4 guys that are hitting projections here. I'll go ahead and share the screen, pull up our friends over at SaberSim, right? Our partners there. And let me go ahead and just drop this down. So keep those comments rolling for the free 121. Kind of remind people as more and more people do get in here, right? Why was Ham 10 minutes late there? Man, the dry run, like I said, Gilbert, SP1 on the slate in terms of ownership, projection, everything. I tend to agree there. And then it's Robbie Ray, Pavetta, and Gavin Williams. And then in terms of stacked, it's Pittsburgh, White Sox, and Dodgers. And then Rockies are kind of rounding it out. So that's kind of where projections and ownership is headed on the slate. Let's break it down and go 8K and above. You got Shane Baz at the bottom, David Peterson. You got Kevin Gausman, Robbie Ray. Ray Chalk is always never fun there, but his strikeout props do look really good. Citi Field, one of the better parks to pitch in. Nick Pivetta, 9,500, decent price point on him. Joe Ryan, Gilbert, Rodon, and then Hunter Brown all the way up at the top at 10-5, heading into Fenway to face those Bo Sox. What are you doing 8K and above here tonight, Ham?
Hey, while I'm talking, Nate, you got to pick out a winner. I mean, we got to keep them going. Some of these are pretty funny, have me going pretty good. But I think the one area where we'll disagree, Nate, is David Peterson. Right? I love David Peterson. He's not my SP1, but he gets to take on this Giants team. They've just been absolutely abysmal against left-handed pitching. Now we go into Citi Field, where I don't think is very good for hitting. I love David Peterson tonight. To me, it doesn't really matter that he saw them last game and still put up 17 points. I think he comes out tonight, had 4 strikeouts last time against the Giants. I do have him in my top 3. Love David Peterson. I'm sorry, Drew Peterson's in the pen, but love Peterson tonight. And then number 2 for me would be Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert struggled his last time out, but we saw what I forget who pitched last night for the Mariners, but we saw them mow down this Rangers team. They didn't score a run. We love this ballpark for pitchers. Logan Gilbert, will throw right around 90 pitches tonight. You said he's the most popular, and for me, for good reasons. So he would be kind of up there for me. Joe Ryan, I really like Joe Ryan tonight. We've picked on this Guardians team all season long. We know the Guardians have thrown in the towel. You got to work around their number 3 hitter, Jose Ramirez, and outside of that, I don't think there's much there in order to fear. And then, Hunter Brown can always put up the numbers. Same with Carlos Rodon. But as I said in my opening, is like, I don't want to pick on the Red Sox in Fenway. Miami, I don't want Miami to scare me, but they have been hitting better against lefties. We know we get a ballpark upgrade for Rodon, but for me, he would kind of be 4 or 5 range with Hunter Brown.
Yeah. So I'll start with Hunter Brown. The cases you can make for Hunter Brown, it's 70 degrees. Temperatures are going to be in the low mid 60s by the end of that game. There is some wind blowing in. It is a decent park or one of the better parks in baseball for hitting. The thing for me is Hunter Brown. Nobody's going to play Hunter Brown here. And I think he's definitely interesting at the top tier in a slate where guys around him are going to be much more popular. I talked about the top tier. It's Joe Ryan, Pivetta, Gilbert, Robbie Ray. Gavin Williams. That's kind of what you're looking at there. So Hunter Brown, you look at his prop, 6.5K prop, some slight juice on the over at DraftKings, pretty much a pick 'em, even money pretty much at all of the other books. That's right there in line with Rodon. Rodon's 6.5, juice on the under. Gilbert, 7.5, juice on the under, highest K prop on the slate. Robbie Ray, 5.5, does have the best K prop in terms of juice, -160 on the over. Gavin Williams, same thing, 5.5, -160 on the over. Joe Ryan, 5.5, some juice on the over. Pivetta, 5.5, juice on the over there. So he's right in line with all of those guys. And there's definitely ways to afford him. It's 11-game slate. I don't mind paying up for upside here in a guy like Hunter Brown. He is not my SP1 on the slate, but I do think in tournaments, he is definitely pretty intriguing to me overall, even against Boston in that park there. It's not 90 degrees like it has been with wind blown out. It's way cooler there. So it is going to be more favorable than normal for hitting. The total in that game is sitting at 8 there. So I do have interest in Hunter Brown. Carlos Rodon, I do like a ton. He's gone 90-plus pitches in 20 of his last 22 starts. I really like the upside for Carlos Rodon in Miami, one of the better places to pitch in. And again, he's going to be lower owned than Gilbert, Ryan, Pivetta, and Ray right below him. So I like the two guys a decent amount in tournaments at the top range. Logan Gilbert, my SP1 on the slate, everybody's SP1 on the slate. Pitching out there in Seattle against this Texas team, tons of strikeouts there. His pitch count should be there. I love Logan Gilbert. He's my favorite pitcher on the slate. Joe Ryan, I think, is also a solid play. We know this Guardians team, we've been streamlining pitchers. However, I will say I do have some slight worry. I assume Cleveland, let me look at their confirmed lineup. I want to say they're going to throw a bunch of lefties. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lefties against Joe Ryan here, which definitely does hurt his Strikeout ability between this year and last year, 23.5K percentage to the left side, 32% to the right. So I do have some slight concern with Joe Ryan. He also allows 35% fly ball rate to left-handed hitters. You look at this last 30 days against righties for Cleveland, their entire roster outside of 2 bats do have a 30% or higher fly ball rate. So with that being said, I prefer Pivetta in that range. I prefer Robbie Ray, Gilbert, Rodon, and Hunter Brown. So Joe Ryan's 6th for me in this top tier. David Peterson, I like what you say there. I don't know if he has the upside these other arms do. 8,300 is a good price point. He is going to be fairly low owned there. I get all the reasons. Citi Field is the 7th best park in baseball for pitching. The Giants do strike out a ton, especially against lefties over the last month there. I just have a worry with his upside. I can see 17 to 18 DraftKings points there. I don't know if that's going to be enough on this slate when you got guys priced around him, a guy like Gavin Williams, who has a 5.5K prop with mega juice on the over. Robbie Ray, right in that same range. Kevin Gausman, who you know is going to have the leash, 8,500, good K prop on him. So for me, that's the reason David Peterson didn't make the cut. Also, his pitch count concerns are going to be less than what the other guys in his range are. So up in the top tier, long way saying Gilbert's my SP1, Rodon's SP2, Pivetta, Robbie Ray, Hunter Brown are kind of my 5 favorites. And then a drop off goes to Kevin Gausman and Joe Ryan there. The only guy I'm not really playing up here or have a ton of interest in at all really is Shane Baz. Below 8K, there's not a ton below 8K. It is definitely a spend-up pitcher slate for me personally. I would really like to have 2 guys above 8K, but when you do drop below 8K, the second highest owned pitcher on the entire slate, Gavin Williams, like I talked about, 5.5K prop, -160 on the over there, gets the matchup against the Twins. Gavin Williams, huge strikeout upside, huge strikeout arm. If he can control the walks that he does tend to struggle with, he should be able to smash that $7,800 price point. The slight concern is his ownership, number one, and his control. If he doesn't have it, it could be a short night at the old mound for Gavin Williams. So talk about him for sure. And then anybody else below 8K, guys like Jacob Lopez, Jack Leader. I know people might want to play some Jack Leader down here for whatever reason. Jansen Junk has some upside there in that park against the strikeout happy Yankees team. Any interest any of these guys below 8K down here?
Yeah, one name I failed to mention, Nades, was Kevin Gausman at 8,500 against this Royals team. Gausman back-to-back 30-point performances. Missed him right above Peterson. But, yeah, looking at this Twins team, Austin Martin, Alan Rodon, Cody Clemens, who are these guys? I've never even heard of them. Gavin Williams should be in cruise control. Someone said the Twins threw in the towel. They most certainly did. They're batting, Cody Clemens is not a cleanup hitter. He's batting cleanup today. So, yeah, Gavin Williams is going to be popular, rightfully so. $7,800, that's a steal. We know what he can do. The only other one that I would mention, his name is not Jacob Lopez. It is Tyler Anderson. Tyler Anderson taking on this White Sox team. I don't hate this White Sox team either, but Tyler Anderson against this White Sox team is not very good. It's been a tough road to hoe for Tyler Anderson, but he's faced much stiffer competition, likes the Blue Jays, the Mariners, the Mets, people like that. Now he gets the White Sox at home. I don't think it's the worst play at $6,700. But outside of that, Nades, I'm not seeing many people. I'm not taking on Junk even without Judge in the lineup. No Jack Leiter for me. It is Gavin Williams, which I love, and I think everybody loves and should love. And then I will take some stabs on Tyler Anderson tonight.
Yeah, you can take Tyler Anderson and go to a Phillies game and enjoy some extracurricular activities with him when he gets absolutely shellacked by the 4th best hitting team in baseball against left-handed pitching over the last month and a half there. I get the reasoning there, but the White Sox are just not the same matchup against lefties for sure than what they were. They once were. For me, it's Jack Leader, Jacob Lopez down here, obviously alongside Gavin Williams. Not much more to add with Gavin Williams. Twins are throwing in the white flag. They traded away a third of their team, half of their team. Left and right, I was seeing acquisitions. Willie Castro going here. They traded their whole bullpen away. This team is just absolutely, sailing it in. So that's also part of the reason why I'm a little bit lower on Joe Ryan. I just don't think they're going to go out there and throw Joe Ryan for 95, 100 plus pitches when when they just sold off their entire team at the deadline there. So for me, like I said, it's Gavin Williams, obviously one of the better options on the slate. Jacob Lopez actually has the second highest strikeout rate on the slate. If you look at it over the last month, if you look at his numbers at home, even in that ballpark this year, yeah, he'll give up some power and he'll give up he might give up some a run or two, but his strikeout rate 34.5%. He's sitting at almost 11 Ks per 9 innings, and now he faces the Diamondbacks team, who outside of the top half is a bunch of young players that, I mean, they're going to go in there and face a lefty that has a huge strikeout upside arm. I mean, they traded away Eugenio Suarez, obviously, Josh Naylor, right? So now they're letting the young guys kind of get in there. So I do think he does have strikeout upside. And then it's also interesting to note Jack Leader's K prop is 4.5, minus 160 on the over at DraftKings. That's pretty good. So I do want to pay more attention to some K prop stuff down here if I am looking for punting some of these guys off, because again, I said the top end of pitching is loaded. So if you are punting, you are going to want some guys that do have strikeout ability, strikeout upside. I mean, Jack Leader's prop is better than David Peterson for a fraction of the price. I mean, the dude's $2,000 cheaper, same K prop, heavier juice on the over out there in Seattle. So for me, it's really Junk, Lopez, Leader, and Gavin Williams. Those are the only guys I'm looking at below 8K. I'm not playing Tyler Anderson. I'll leave that to Ham and the rest of the crew out there that want that 121 ticket. So, Ham, let's jump over and talk hitting. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the stone here real quick just to make sure we got. Yeah, go ahead and just. It's going to be tough, but give the top 5. I know there's 22 arms on the slate. There's a lot of loaded arms, but try and break it down into the top 5. And then at the end of the show, we'll give kind of our favorite overall pitcher, and then one of your favorite kind of sneakier lower owned pitcher at the end. But rank the top 5 for you. I
got Logan Gilbert 1, Gavin Williams 2, Gausman 3, Peterson 4, and then Joe Ryan 5. Just came across the thing that the closer for the Guardians and that other guy Ortiz, they just cleared out their locker, so you won't be seeing them in a major league uniform anytime soon. Nate, they're toast. The Twins are toast. Yeah. The thing with the thing with Pivetta is the Cardinals just refuse to strike out against righties. That's why I don't like Pivetta. But anyway, go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, so for me, it's Logan Gilbert, my SP1 on the slate. Then I'm going Carlos Rodon. Nick Pivetta's number 3, Gavin Williams 4, and then I'll say Robbie Ray 5th. I like the strikeout ability on Robbie Ray. I think his ownership should be somewhat held in check with the other guys around him there. Cardinals don't strike out a ton, but I do think Pivetta has upside. They just put Nolan Arenado on the IL as well, which definitely helps the case for Pivetta. It's a good pitcher's ballpark out there in San Diego, and I'm just not really too afraid of this Cardinals matchup, and I think Pivetta definitely has upside at that price. We know they will let him throw 95 to 100-plus pitches there in that game. Let's jump over and talk hitting here. Let me go ahead and blow this up a little bit so it's a little bit more readable here. Those are the first 2 early games that are going on if you did play those. First game on the main slate is up in the Rogers Center Dome, up in Toronto. Kevin Gausman on the mound. I definitely liked him in terms of pitching as well. Couldn't list everybody on the Royals side of things. You got Michael Flocka Flame. Blue Jays are the best team in baseball over last month against right-handed pitching here. Any interest for a Blue Jays team that nobody's going to click on here? The Royals bullpen's been one of the worst bullpens in baseball over the last month in terms of xFIP. Any Blue Jays interest for you? Any Royals on the other side?
Yeah, no Royals for me. Gausman's been dealing. That's kind of surprising to me, Nades, that no one's going to be clicking on the Jays going up against Waka. I mean, we see it there. We see it there on the Stone. He has a 13% strikeout rate on the road. Newsflash, that's not very good. I'm surprised that people won't be clicking on like the likes of Vlad, Bo. Barger's been pretty good this season. Varsho's back in our lives. I got the Blue Jays, I don't know, top 5 stack maybe. But yeah, no Royals, and I do like the Blue Jays top 5 stack.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there. I do like the Blue Jays quite a bit as well. They're definitely in my top 10. They're probably sitting around that 4 to 6 range. There's so many teams that you can kind of jumble after the quote unquote Coors Field game and things like that are all right there in line. And Toronto fits that build. I'm a big guy in bullpens. I put it in the slate plan as well in terms of the bullpen rankings. Kansas City Royals over the last month in terms of XFIP in that bullpen with all of the injuries that they've had are third worst in baseball behind the Dodgers and the Rockies. And then you got Flacco, who doesn't strike anybody out. Yeah, he doesn't allow a ton of power, but the Blue Jays don't hit power. They don't really, they don't have a lot of guys that hit for a ton of power, and that's why you're winning. The Blue Jays manufacture runs. They hit doubles. They hit the balls in the gap, and they just score a lot of runs. And that can add up quickly in terms of DFS. You look at Flacco this year and last year, sub 20% K rates overall. He does allow a decent amount of fly balls to lefties. So I love Barger, Varsho, Joey Lopperfield, even Heineman as a catcher. I like him. And then obviously Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero are great. Nathan Lukes. The only guys I really don't love a lot are Ty France and Ernie Clement. But 1 through 9, I think they're great plays. Nobody's going to play them. And I think this is a really good pivot off of the Pirates, who are in Coors Field at a very similar price point in terms of a stack. So I'm definitely in on the Blue Jays side of thing. No Royals interest for me. Yeah, you can play Bobby Witt, Salvi Perez, but realistically, those are kind of the only 2 guys that I would look at. I'm more on the side of Gausman and the Blue Jays for me. Next game on the slate, we are heading to Fenway. Cooper Criswell in our lives on the mound for the Red Sox. Hunter Brown on the other side for the Astros. Red Sox have been hitting the baseball. I don't really have much interest in any Red Sox here tonight to attack Hunter Brown. I do think he's a decent play in tournaments with some upside, good K props, all of that. And the Astros bullpen is really good behind him. However, the Astros did make some trades at the deadline. They went out and got Carlos Correa, Jesus Sanchez. They're batting 3-4 here. Added another lefty power bat. It's not Kyle Tucker, but hey, it's better than guys like Victor Caratini and whoever else that they were throwing in there for lefties. And I have some interest in these Astros, another low-owned team that I think people are sleeping on. Red Sox bullpen, not great behind them. I talked about the weather. It's not the best hitting environment, but again, still above average park for hitting. What are you doing here in Fenway?
Yeah, I like the Red Sox a little bit. I'm not full 5-man, but you could go, I think, one off or a 2-man stack mini against Hunter Brown, who's been struggling. And then this is, in essence, a bullpen game for the Red Sox. You got Cooper Aswell on the hill for the Red Sox to open. Yeah, they got Jesus Sanchez. They got, obviously, some lefty power in there to stick him right in the middle. They got Carlos back in their lineup. I don't think the Astros is the worst, but me personally, Nate, I don't like picking on bullpen games. So for me, I'm passing on the Astros, and it's a 1 or 2 man for the Bo Sox.
Yeah, I do. Red Sox pen isn't great. They are pretty rested in general. The last time their bullpen went was really Tuesday. Obviously, yesterday, pretty much everybody was off yesterday outside of a couple teams. But Matt's through 24 on Tuesday. Their other arms through 17, 20. Fairly taxed, but I think the Astros, again, this slate it's the Dodgers, it's the White Sox, and it's the Pirates and Rockies. Those are the teams that people are going to play. I'm going to target bullpens and the teams that have full 9 at bats. The Astros are obviously playing for the series at the end, and I like this lineup. I don't think people are going to play him. Cooper Criswell has also been reverse splitsy for the time that he's going to be in there. He does allow power to righties there. So I have interest in these Astros. Does suck that you can't play Jeremy Pena. Welcome back, Jeremy Pena and Correa. But again, I like pretty much all 9 hitters in this lineup for the Astros. No Red Sox interest for me. Next game on the slate, this is one I don't have much interest in, if any. The Twins and the Guardians. You talked about the Twins. They're selling. They're waving the white flag. Gavin Williams is going to be the chalk, especially in the single entry and 3-max style contest. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gavin Williams pushing 50, 60% in those type contests there. Any interest for hitters in this one?
Yeah, I don't think so. But just going back to Gavin Williams, like at what percent is C2, like, single entry, would you, look to go somewhere else? Like 50% too high, 60%, Like if the ownership's
I
coming in
don't
there.
I don't think there's any right wrong. I just think it's the way you build your roster. I wouldn't go in and play Gavin Williams with Logan Gilbert and then stack up Coors Field with some one-off Dodgers because that's what everybody else is going to do. So I wouldn't do that. If I'm playing Gavin Williams, I'm probably pivoting off at the top end of like a Logan Gilbert to maybe like a Hunter Brown, right, that I talked about, a Petta who's going to be lower owned, Rodon who's going to be lower owned, one of those guys. That's how I would kind of approach it there. It's not to say that I'm going to go in and play these Minnesota bats in general, but what I will say, like I said, is his issue is if he starts walking guys, it gets his pitch count up there, and then you got to start coming over the heart of the plate. And the Twins do still have some power in that lineup that can get to him. Guys like Cody Clemens have a lot of power, Jeffers, Matt Wallner. So there is some still power in there, but there's no real number. It's more of just a roster construction thing for myself personally.
Yeah, I mean, I love both of these pitchers. If you're playing the Twins, which I'm not, I don't think. I mean, it's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are like major league hitters. And those first two guys are not major league hitters. So I'm not playing one or two, but I don't mind the rest. And then no Guardians, right? Like you always say, you could stack up Jose or, play Jose if you wanted to. At $6,400, he should be next to nothing owned. That's why we have him as 3% ownership. But it's a one-off only for me with the Guardians.
I think you could throw in like a Kyle Manzardo, has a ton of power. Lefty power can get to Joe Ryan, like I talked about. If you need some salary, and guys like Daniel Schieneman there at 3,300, play him at second base, which is a horrible position, especially tonight there. So some lefties for me on the Guardians, little mini stacks, I think, to get to some of Joe Ryan. But I much prefer, if I'm picking a side, some of the Twins lefty power, guys like Cody Clemens. I talked about him, Matt Wallner, Ryan Jeffers in there. And then if you are going to the Twins, not only do you get leverage against Gavin Williams, but the Cleveland bullpen, who they just traded all of their really good arms, especially at the back half, away at the deadline. Their bullpen was already the fourth worst over the last month. It's going to be even worse now. So there is some added benefit there if you are going to some of the Twins, but I definitely side more with the pitching in this game than hitting. Next game on the slate, Yankees and the Marlins. Jansen Junk does have some talent in general. Carlos Rodon, don't think I'm willing to play any Marlins against him, but talk about these Yankees. Got the job done yesterday a little bit. Much different ballpark. They were playing in Steinbrenner Field. This is not the same park by any means. This is one of the worst parks, the third worst park in baseball overall for run factor. Any interest in these Yankees here, who I do think are going to be one of the more popular stacks if people are spending up? It's kind of them and the Dodgers as spend up offenses outside of Coors Field. Any interest here?
Yeah, I think the Yankees are in play for sure. Jazz coming home, Giancarlo coming home, and then you got Dominguez. Junk does give up some fly balls, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't mind the lefties for them. Obviously, you got 7 lefties in the projected lineup. I talked about it earlier. I know you like Rodon. We love the park, but this team has done really well over the last month against lefties. I mean, even Kyle Stowers down there batting 6th, it looks like. I don't hate that, lefty. I think this Marlins team is sneaky. Might have a fish fry. Interested to hear your take. Yeah, but I think you're not all in, but you really like Rodon tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Rodon. The reason being is he can go out there and pitch 100-plus pitches. And, yeah, the Marlins really haven't struck out. But, I mean, they have a sub-100 ISO against left-handed pitching over the last 30 days. I mean, you're talking guys like Sanoa, Wegman, Lopez, Dane Myers, Stowers. I mean, Stowers has a 0 ISO. Myers has a 0 ISO. Lopez is a .04. I mean, these guys just have no power outside of Augustine Ramirez and Hernandez up at the top to really get to Rodon. And I mean, that's kind of the reason in there for me. And none of their team hits the ball in the air. Rodon struggles with fly balls, and they only have 2 fly ball hitters on their entire roster, Sanoa and Dane Myers. And I talked about those dudes not having any power, especially over the last month there. So that's the reason I'm on Rodon. And not only that, he is going to be super low owned. He's our top rated pitcher in our pitcher ranking. So I'm definitely in on Carlos Rodon. On the Yankee side, I don't love them as a stack here tonight. I think Ben Rice is a good play. Jazz Chisholm's my favorite play, one of the better plays on the slate, not only because he's returning back home and that. I mean, the dude has been murdering right-handed pitching. Second base is a dumpster fire. I mean, second base position tonight is absolutely atrocious. So I do like spending all the way up two guys like Jazz Chisholm. I'm not playing 4,500 for Nick Gonzalez. Give me the $600 and let me play Jazz Chisholm against Jansen Junk, who you can get some fly balls and power off. Even in this ballpark, I don't care. So Jazz, some of the lefty power for me, Grisham, Ben Rice, Bellinger's who's been hitting the ball, but I don't like the Yankees as much as a stack overall. Marlins bullpen, 7th best in baseball as well over the last month in terms of xFIP, which is kind of surprising. Most people look at season-long numbers. I like to look, especially recently, on what some of these relievers have been doing, and they've been pretty solid. Next game on the slate, Robbie Ray, David Peterson. Talked about both pitchers in this one. I'm not playing bats really in this one. If I were to pick a side, it would be the Mets against Robbie Ray, who's going to pick up some ownership here. But both of these pitchers rank really good. In our rankings, this ballpark sucks in terms of hitting. Pete Alonso, Soto, Marte. Sure, you can play some of these Mets, but overall, not a game I'm interested in for stacking. Any interest here?
I mean, Robbie Ray might be the worst play on the slate, I think. Mets don't strike out. Robbie Ray, walk prone. I'm not going to have any Ray nades. I think he's a horrible play. I don't love the Mets because they don't hit lefties very well, but they just don't strike out either. And then David Peterson, I'm very infatuated with him tonight. So I like Peterson. So no Giants bats. Robbie Ray, worst play on the slate, in my opinion. And it would be like a Pete Alonso one-off who has tons of power, as you can see there, but does strike out a whole bunch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Robbie Ray is the worst play in the slate, so I won't go that far. But if you're with him and you're riding him, go bet all of Robbie Ray's unders because, I mean, there is mega juice on the over on his 5.5K prop. It's sitting at minus 160, minus 146. So, I mean, you can probably get some pretty good numbers there if you want to bet his unders props on his in his pitching. That's the way I would kind of approach it. If you're more on that side, I don't really want to stack up the Mets here. I just hate this ballpark for offense. It's atrocious.
Sean Sullivan always stack against Ray.
I mean, you could always stack against any high-owned pitcher, especially Ray, especially a guy with control issues, but I just don't see it in this ballpark personally myself. But, hey, crazier things have happened. Let's head to a much better ballpark here. Going to Steinbrenner Field. Going to be good weather here. Talked about the temperatures in Fenway. That's not the case here in Steinbrenner. It is going to be upper 80s, 90 degrees, double-digit wind blowing straight out to center field the entire duration of this game, which does definitely affect these minor league parks much more than other parks. We've got Clayton Kershaw in our lives. I mean, this dude, a corpse of himself, I don't think is any good. I love this game on both sides for offense. I talked about the Dodgers bullpen has been absolutely atrocious over the last month. The Rays did have a bunch of guys get banged up last night against the Yankees in that day game there, so pay attention to that. But Yandy Diaz looks like one of the better plays in the slate. Caminero mashes left-handed. Christopher Morel smashes lefties as well. Taylor Walls, he's been playing good baseball. He's a switch hitter at 3K. I do have interest in this game. And then the Dodgers, I think this is a pretty good buy low spot on the Dodgers. I talked about it in the slate plan. You look at Shane Baz over the last month, been really reverse splitsies, allowing a ton of power to righties, sub 15% K rate to righties as well, and a lot of hard contact. Any interest here in the Dodgers, who just have not been doing it as of late? They're going to be low owned outside of Mookie Betts and Ohtani, who get ownership every time. Any interest here in this game?
Man, the Dodgers have been so bad. You could play Ohtani, I guess. You're going to pay for it. I mean, Mookie Betts, like the corpse of Mookie Betts, 4,200 is fine. It's more of a fade for me on the Dodgers because they've been so bad. And then you play the Rays at home, but only against right-handed pitching. Kershaw's terrible. Rays are not very good. They get at home against lefties. So I'm passing on the Rays tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely differ a little bit here. I do like both sides. I much prefer the Dodger side if picking a stack. But again, I talked about that Dodgers bullpen. It's just not the same. They've gone through a lot of injuries, and the Rays also lead all of the majors by like 20-some stolen bases. They have over 140 stolen bases this year. So they will run. That's added upside. I like Caminero, Yandy Diaz, and Christopher Morel are my kind of three favorite bats on the Rays there. Probably more I don't know. I like full stacks on both sides for sure. Definitely more interest in the Dodgers side of things. Next game, we have to talk about it. It's the game of the slate. We're heading out to Coors Field. Senzatella, probably one of the worst pitchers in all of the majors, if not the worst. And then on the other side, Andrew Heaney just gets absolutely tattooed by righties for some power. And the Rockies are going to load their lineup with all righties, it looks like, at least projected-wise. Probably going to stay pretty close to true there. Talk about this one. I mean, the Pirates, these price points are ridiculous for some of these Pirates. I get it. They are headed into Coors Field to face one of the worst bullpens in baseball and probably the worst pitcher in the majors, or at least one of them. But again, man, these Pirates, it's just a horrible it's a horrible offense. What are you going to do here with Pirates chalk?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, obviously you want to play it because of the total. To me, Nades, it's a easy fade in single entry. Probably an easy fade in 3 max. I mean, if you have 10 plus teams, I think you want to get 1 or 2 pieces of them. But the Pirates are just so brutal. I actually like the Rockies better tonight than the Pirates, which is probably a little contrarian. I don't know about you, but like you said, Heaney's just getting obliterated. So I like some of these Rockies, especially Tovar if he is batting second, Hunter Goodman, Jordan Beck if they're in the lineup. Like that 2, 3, 4 right there. I don't hate the Rockies, the top half of the Rockies lineup. And then I haven't decided what to do on the Pirates, like how much I'll have of them. I got about 20 teams tonight, so I'll have some, but it's going to be lower than the field, I would assume.
Yeah, so for me, it's 3 guys that I have interest in the Pirates. That's why I'm not full 5-man stacking them. I'm not playing guys like Wiz Khalifa. I'm not playing guys like Nick Gonzalez, Horwitz, McCutchen. I mean, that dude needs to hang it up. He had his time. He's gone. I think Peguero is a good play at shortstop. The reason being is Mookie Betts is going to be chalk at that position. And now you get a guy that does actually hit the ball, has good numbers in there. If he's in that lineup, he has been the best hitter on the team, at least last 30 for power and for fly balls. So I like him. I like O'Neal Cruz, and then I like Tommy Pham. Those are the only 3 guys I really have interest in. I get it. I mean, they're implied to score over 6 runs. The Rockies bullpen is trash, yada, 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 all these things. I mean, if there is one chalk team, it's this team, them and the White Sox. So for me, 2 shit offenses. I'd much rather play the White Sox at much lower ownership than the Pirates, then go in and play the Pirates chalk for me. On the other side, Rockies, I do have interest. Doyle, Beck, Goodman, Tovar, Farmer, Estrada are the main guys I'm looking at there. I think Tovar is one of the better plays on the slate. Again, I talked about Mookie Betts chalk at shortstop. Tovar, $300 or $200 cheaper, $300 cheaper, right there, exact same position against the lefty where he mashes, $3,900. Tovar is one of my favorite plays on the slate. I think he's one of the better plays. Goodman, Beck, these guys do smash lefties. I do have slight concern about 5-stacking the Rockies. Pirates bullpen has actually been really good over the last month for what it's worth. They rank 7th in baseball. When I said Miami ranks 7th, Miami actually ranks 4th. So it's Miami 4th, and the Pirates are 7th. So I don't love that. I prefer more mini stacks on the Rockies side. And I'm definitely under on this Pirates chalk. If Pirates chalk beats me, I'll tighten up my bootstraps and come back tomorrow and win some. Hopefully win some more. There's plenty more slates of baseball ahead of us. Let's head out to the night games. We are going to Anaheim. Tyler Anderson, Ham's boyfriend, is on the hill. This dude is going to be playing Tyler Anderson tonight, he said. White Sox, I mean, it's not the same matchup as it once was. You look at over the last 30 days, White Sox are 4th in all of baseball in OPS against left-handed pitching. I mean, talk to me. Or 3rd, excuse me, with the 820 OPS against lefties. And now they get Tyler Anderson, who I don't think is very good. He got a very, very bad bullpen behind him. And then Shane Smith is returning back after throwing a rehab start in his own practice. I mean, he threw like 50 or 55 pitches, somewhere around there, after coming off that ankle injury. And then you got a bullpen game behind him. I mean, this game seems pretty good to me on both sides. Angel side is going to be much lower owned. I like both sides of this one. Talk to me. Any interest here?
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Anderson grew up in Texas, right? Outskirts of Texas. His favorite player growing up was Mr. Cy Young. Always wanted to be Mr. Cy Young. Every night he went to bed dreaming of Cy Young and facing this matchup against the White Sox. So you got to love Tyler Anderson tonight. Chalky White Sox is bad. My boy Josh Gillum is with me on that. Tyler Anderson will get 20 DraftKings points tonight. That is a fact of life. That's going to happen. That's real life. So fire up the bands. We're going Tyler Anderson. We're going to ship it nation tonight. Make sure you get him in there. We're going to fade the White Sox. Then on the flip side, we're going to play the Angels against some guy named Shane Smith. Don't know who that is, but Angels, we're playing them. We're playing Cy Young Anderson tonight. Went to bed every night dreaming about that man. He's gonna replicate him tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you're clicking Tyler Anderson on 11-game slate when Hunter Brown, Rodon, Gilbert, Joe Ryan, Pavetta, Bosman, Peterson, Gavin Williams. I mean, I understand, but you don't got to play 8 pitchers in your roster. I mean, my God, why are we clicking Tyler Anderson against the team that has been absolutely piss pounding? I mean, you think Tyler Anderson's better than Luzardo? You think, what's his face? The other guy from the Phillies, the other lefty, Sanchez. You think you think Tyler Anderson's better than Christopher Sanchez and Luzardo? Ask those guys how it went when these White Sox came into Philly. Now they go to the best park in baseball for home runs on the season, one of the better parks overall for hitting, and then they get this dog shit bullpen behind them. I mean, White Sox aren't going to be mega chalk. The Pirates are just don't play the White Sox with the Pirates, and there you're different. Boom. Don't play the White Sox with the Pirates or the Dodgers, and you're different. I have interest. Vargas, I love him. Benintendi, Robert, Sosa, Colson Montgomery, I think is one of the better plays on the slate. Don't look at these numbers on the road in the 7 at-bats. It's a small, but Tyler Anderson's reverse splitsy. I mean, this dude actually gets murdered by lefties as well. I mean, the kid is just terrible. And then you get a bunch of righties coming out of that bullpen. I mean, I think Montgomery's one of the better plays on the slate, especially at third base, which is not a good position. And then on the other side, I want to start with the lefties in particular on the Angels. But again, it's going to be more of a bullpen game. I don't expect Shane Smith to go very, very long. And if he struggles at all early, I don't think his pitch count is going to be much more than 60, 65 pitches. And if he struggles at all against these Angels who hit some bombs off of Jacob deGrom, it's going to be a little different story, Shane Smith versus Jacob deGrom. So I do think I want to start with the lefties because Shane Smith has been better against righties. So Shanuel, I think Moncada, Renifo, Lamonte Wade, if he cracks the lineup, I think he's a decent play. But yeah, I'm definitely off both pitchers, including Mr. Cy Young Anderson, as Ham would like to say there. But no interest there for me.
Hey, if you want 20 DraftKings points tonight, guaranteed, click on Tyler Anderson.
All right, we got to make a friendly bet. I mean, what do you want? What's the bet here? What are you putting up? Who can I take against Tyler Anderson?
Tyler Anderson. I mean, you were having a love affair for Jansen Junk or Jack Leiter or Jacob Lopez. He outscores all of them. I mean, he's gonna get 20. Like he just is. This White Sox chalk. Think about that for a minute. White Sox chalk on people you've never even heard of.
So you're putting the line at 20. What do I get for under?
Well, I mean, I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. Like, what's his projection? Like, 12?
Here. Do the White Sox beat their team total of 4.6, 4.5.
No.
All right. If the White Sox score five runs and Anderson scores under 20, I win the bet. There we go. There it is.
Deal.
White Sox need to score 5+ runs, and Anderson needs to score less than 20. All right, I'm feeling pretty good.
There is a 0% chance the White Sox score 5 runs. I do know that.
0% chance. Well, when Luis Robert comes up with 2 guys on base, and
you better hit 6 home runs then.
Yeah, when Robert comes up and hits a 3-run shot in the first inning, I mean, it's going to be tough sledding for a guy.
All these people, Robert's going deep, Vargas going deep, like. Tyler Anderson, 7 innings, 2 hits, 11 Ks. I mean, it's just like I can just
11 Ks.
I can just see it now.
I mean, go bet your house on his over K prop because his K prop's 4.5 with juice on the under. So go bet your house on the ladder. I mean, ladder that sucker up to as many Ks as you can get, and you don't need to come to any more shows because you can retire and go live in Hawaii on the beaches and go pick up surfing in your old age over there, Ham. So should be a fun one here tonight. We got some. This has been a good show. We haven't disagreed like this in a while. Usually, I slipped maybe 1 or 2, but my record's pretty good against you when when we go.
I think you still owe me Jersey Mike's.
I do owe you. Yeah, I think I do still owe you a little $25 spot for some Jersey Mike's for a nice inflated price on a nice submarine sandwich. Let's go to the next game on the slate, Cardinals and Padres. Liberatore on the mound, who's been absolutely atrocious over the last month. Padres made some trades at the deadline. They got some more power in there. Guys like Laureano, who have been smashing. Xander Bogaerts has been murdering baseballs. Nobody's going to play the Padres here. I don't like this ballpark much, but I think the Padres are interesting. I actually prefer the Padres to teams like the Yankees at a similar salary, which is crazy to say. But Liberatore has just been absolutely atrocious, allowing a ton of power, a ton of fly ball, especially to righties there. Probably more mini stack. I just don't love the ballpark a ton. And then no Cardinals interest for me against Pivetta. One of my favorite options on the slate, ranks really good for us as well.
Yeah, no Cardinals for sure. They don't strike out, so that's why I don't have any interest in Pivetta. And then Liberatore's been so bad. So if you wanted to go mini, I think you said it a minute ago, this park's tough, in my opinion. They think Laureano's going to be in the lineup tonight. I like that. They got somebody else. Ryan O'Hearn, but I guess they don't want going lefty-lefty. It's minis for me on the Padres and no Cardinals.
Yeah, I agree there. I do think the Padres are pretty interesting, especially for minis in tournaments. Takes me to my favorite game on the slate. On one side of the field, we're going to Sacramento. The A's are at home against the next generation D-backs outside of Marte, Carroll, Gurriel, and Perdomo. They didn't have really anybody locked up, and they sold them all pretty much off at the deadline. Descalfini's still in our lives pitching. I think he's been pitching way over his damn head. And then you got a really bad bullpen as well behind the D-backs here. Give me these A's, my favorite stack on the entire slate. One of the best hitting environments on the slate right here in this ballpark. Temperatures in the 80s, 15-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight out to left center field. I think the A's smash here. Nick Kurtz, Butler, I want the lefties first, and then Rooker, Langeliers are great plays. And then you got a $2,300 young prospect here, Daryl H. I'm going to call him. I don't want to butcher his last name. This dude hit a home run, I think, last night before, smashing baseballs, and third base position is absolutely horrible. 2,300. He's free. I like this team. I love them. My top stack on the board. Nobody's playing them. They're going to rather play the Pirates in Coors Field. Give me these A's. An actual decent offense that does have some power in it. And then on the D-back side, talked about liking Lopez, but you can pick off guys like Marte, Carroll, Gurriel. I'd probably stick to the top three. I don't really want to mess with the other guys, but I mean, you got a $2,500 first baseman in there if you want, projected hit cleanup. Any interest in this game? One of the best parks in baseball.
Yeah, it'd be. I'm with you. More A's than D-backs. I mean, certainly you can play Marte or Carroll as a one-off, but yeah, I think it was last Friday night that Kurtz hit what, 4 bombs, or that might have been 2 Friday nights ago. But I think they're in a great spot. I'm with you that Descalfini's been pitching over his head. So yeah, give me these Athletics, and then Diamondbacks more of like a one-off, and I'm not full stacking them. I mean, you can see the blood red down there at the bottom half of the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I tend to agree there. I think you could make a case to play some D-back stacks. I'm not going to do it in single entry and stuff, but in 20 max, I'd probably be fine playing both sides of this matchup. Lopez just with his strikeout ability, because he is, again, going to be super low on compared to other guys like Gavin Williams, and he's $800 cheaper. He still does have tons of strikeout upside, like Gavin Williams does have. His K-prop's pretty good as well. But again, on the D-back side, I think you could play both sides. The A's bullpen is not good as well. They're down there, one of the worst bullpens in baseball over the course of the season. So there is a case to play both sides here, but I much prefer the A's. They're my top stack on the board. Head into the last game of the slate. Seattle bought a bunch at the deadline, right? Naylor and Suarez coming over as a combo pack from Arizona, beefed up their roster there. Logan Gilbert on the hill takes me firmly off all of these Rangers. No interest in any of the Rangers. Jack Leader, I think he's fine if you want to punt pitching at 6,800. Him and Lopez are fine options, but I do like this Seattle offense in general. You can play some home run power in this ballpark, and the Seattle lineup looks pretty good. Lefty power, can get to leader. He does struggle with walks as well to lefties. Any interest in these Seattle bats? I think Seattle's going to be super low owned. And then Texas bullpen has been really, really bad as well over the last month in terms of XFIP. Ranks right there with teams like Arizona and the Angels.
Yeah, no, I love this Mariners offense. I saw where Crawford was projected in the back half of the lineup, which I actually like better.
Yeah, he's been. Yeah, the confirmed lineup's out. It's Arozarena's leading off, Raleigh, J-Rod, Naylor, Suarez, Polanco, Canzone, Crawford, Cole Young.
Yeah, I mean, I think this Mariners team is in a great spot against Leiter. They're top three for me. I love them. And then Gilbert's up there with Tyler Anderson. He might not get 11 Ks like Tyler's going to get, but he'd probably get around 9 or 10. So, yeah, give me some Logan Gilbert and no bats for the Rangers.
All right, I want Max bet on Logan Gilbert to have more Ks than Tyler Anderson here tonight. I'll tell you that. Whatever I can put down on that, give me like 3 giant subs over at Jersey Mike's. I mean, I'll take a chicken Philly from Jersey Mike's. I'll take a club sub there with extra bacon. I mean, give me the max bet on Logan Gilbert over Tyler Anderson strikeouts.
The question though, Nades, is that are you a hot pepper relish guy at Jersey Mike's?
No hot pepper.
Wow.
Wow. I'm not a relish guy in general, and then I'm not really a fan of like spicy. Like I'll take some buffalo chicken wings or something like that, but like pepper relish or like I'm not a huge pepper guy. I don't really like green peppers or any of the peppers much. I'm not chasing any of these ghost peppers or none of that shit. So no pepper relish for me from Jersey Mike's, but I do love Jersey Mike's in general. All right, that's all 11 games. I'm with you there. I do think the Mariners are one of the better stacks of the slate. You look at this year and last year between for leader fly ball guy. You look at the fly ball hitters for the Mariners. I mean, Raleigh, Suarez, Naylor, Cole Young actually is a fly ball guy. Polanco. If you look at the last 30 days, I mean, you add in a Rosarena and J-Rod, and you got some nice upside here, even in a shit ballpark there. All right, Ham, favorite part of the show, the end of the show here. I will scroll through the comments here and quick pick a 121 winner, courtesy of you being late because you had to do whatever I throw up here on the screen. But give the people.
Did we get 100 likes?
I don't know. Well, we're giving away. We're generous.
All right.
Yeah, we're generous. It's Friday. We had a good show. We had some laughs. We had good viewership here. Give the people your top pitcher, your favorite low-owned pitcher. I have a feeling I know where you're going there. And then your top 2 stacks, and then a lower-owned stack, and then a home run call or 2.
Yeah, for me, it's Gilbert at the top, and then I do like Peterson. As well. I mean, Gavin Williams, I think, are the top 3. And then, my love affair with plus 520 on 7+ Ks, Tyler Anderson. I got some money on that. So I'll be having me some Tyler Anderson in my life tonight. I'll be asleep, Nades, but if I was awake, I would be talking a lot of trash in the Discord if we get there. But so those are my top pitchers. Top stacks are going to be the Mariners. Blue Jays, I think, are up there as well as far as kind of my top 2. And then maybe like one lower owned. I would say the Angels. I know you talked a little bit about them. I think you said the lefties, which I like that. So give me some of those Angels. And then I got a 2-pack on the home run call of the day. I'm going to go with my favorite stack, which is the Jays. Don't get mad. Get Vlad. Vlad batting third. I think he takes Waka Flocka Flame deep. And then I like the Mets. I like Pete Alonso batting cleanup to take Robbie Ray deep tonight. Worst play on the slate, Robbie Ray. About that.
Worst play on the slate. All right, Ham. I'm going to go with that first one that you pulled up, the leader in the clubhouse, before they even know what the contest was for. I think that's a good way to do it before, obviously, we announced it. I like that one. So you go ahead and scroll through and pull that up. I'll give the people my breakdown quick, but that's who I'm picking. And if they're not a member, let's go with Sean Sullivan. I know Sean Sullivan's in there. He had some good comments throughout the chat. I know he's a member over at ShipItNation.com as well. So we do like to reward the members that help us out and stick with us. There's a lot of good comments. It's tough to pick. Ham, go ahead and scroll up and see if you can find that one. Otherwise, Sean Sullivan will be the winner from me. For me, my favorite pitcher on the slate is Logan Gilbert. I'm eating the chalk at the top end with Logan Gilbert. I think he's definitely a good play. And then I think I like Nick Pivetta. I think Nick Pivetta's a pretty solid play overall. And then I will go with Jacob Lopez at the low tier against those D-backs there. If he can navigate the top 3 guys, I think he can have a pretty good outing there. Has some good strikeout ability. My favorite stack on the slate is on the other side. It is going to be the A's. I'm in on the Athletics here tonight. I love them in terms of their offense. I love the spot. My sneaky offense, I think the Astros are pretty sneaky here against Criswell in Fenway. I like the lineup. They made some trades there, beefed up the lineup a little bit, adding in Sanchez, Correa. So I like the Astros. I think they're pretty sneaky in general. And then my other kind of sneakier team overall is going to be the Seattle Mariners, late night hammer. I like the late games overall for offense is kind of how I'm approaching this game. My home run call is going to be, I was going to say Nick Kurtz. That's stupid. I can't do that. I'm going to go Colson Montgomery for the White Sox here.
Oh,
he is going to be one of the lower owned White Sox against Ham's poster boy, Tyler Anderson. I think Anderson is cheeks. That Angels bullpen, even if Anderson does his 5 innings, 5 1/3, 5 2/3 out there, I mean, you get a bad bullpen behind him. Give me Colson Montgomery, 3,300. Hopefully he's in that lineup. I think he hits one deep tonight in Anaheim. Before we get out of here, I know we had a good show. I appreciate that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. However, August 6th, there's a massive announcement that you do not want to miss. Going to be tons of, there's going to be a launch show about it. Get yourself locked in. Get the NFL package. You see it up there on the screen, $349, the early bird package. You get free premium access the rest of August as well for all of our content, including MLB, MMA, PGA, NASCAR. Shout out to our NASCAR team, doing great. You get free access to our entire site, all the education courses as well. You get a free mastermind course as well, you see on there. And then during the football season, you get the entire college football for no added cost. And then, like I said, August 6th, a massive announcement. Nothing else like it in the industry. We're not just framing that up there. It is going to be something you want to be a part of there. Get yourself locked in. $349 covers the entire NFL season there. You can see the comparisons across the industry, what people are charging out there for NFL. Pay less for content, play more in DFS contests. That's going to do it for this MLB show. Appreciate all the viewers and the interactions in the chat. It was great. Ham, do you have the winner for the ticket? Did you find it?
Yeah. Sean Sullivan. I like what Sean had to say. And then he all knows my love, affection for Klay Thompson. So Sean, hit me up in the Discord. Hopefully you have Cash App. I'll send you 121 via Cash App if you got it. If not, we'll have to figure something else out. But yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in and thank you for all the laughs on the show today.
Yeah, it was good. And remember, if Jock Peterson goes deep off of Logan Gilbert, Ham's doubling down and giving away another 121 next Friday. That's going to do it. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. For Ham, I'm Nades. Good luck tonight. Stay safe. We'll be next on Monday. Peace.